everyone, and welcome to another episode of 1923 Main Street.
Home of the Disney Travel Podcast with the latest Disney travel news. We are your hosts.
I am Mike Bello-Braddock.
And I'm Amelia Bello-Braddock. And today, our annual look at the Foodie Guide for EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival.
Yes, and as we always do, we are going to highlight what is new this year and also some of our returning favorites. However, if you want to see the complete guide in all its glory, check out our show notes or the blog post at 1923mainstreet.com. And we will also have our favorite must-tries that are new, as well as our old favorites. All right, let's jump right in. Let me just start by saying for 2023, there are a total of 32 new food dishes and 42 new beverage options. And that includes coffee, cocktails, non-alcoholic beverages, and everything else in between. And as you remember, if you listened last week, there are also 4 new stations. So there are a total of 29 marketplaces to enjoy this year. So let us jump right in with our top picks from what is new.
Yes, so starting us off at the Kenya Pavilion.
This is one of my returning favorites right off the bat. Tried this last year, loved it. It's not new, but it is definitely one I would recommend. And if I can eat this much, I will order this again. Yes, at Kenya, it is the Kenya Coffee Barbecued Beef with sweet potato corn mealy and kachumbari slaw. And it was absolutely delicious. So I will definitely try to do that again if I have any room left from sampling what is new on the menu. And speaking of what is new, we have, I believe, only one item that we both highlighted as a must-try for this year.
Yes, this delicious looking food at the Flavors of America is a new Italian hot beef sandwich with shaved beef, au jus, and spicy giardiniera.
Yeah, I love if you like a beef dip, essentially, where you have nice beef and it's on a bun and you dip it in the jus, right? It's not a gravy; it's just a light a jus, as they call it, just a light sauce from the meat, but not thickened like a gravy. You will love this one, I believe. You know, Flavors of America generally has good tasting stuff. They have other new items as well, but this Italian hot beef sandwich, we both highlighted as a must-try for 2023. The only question will be, are we ordering 1 or 2 of them? We'll have to see if it's a shareable or if we each want our own. Again, maybe we shouldn't start with that, and we'll see how much room we have.
I anticipate being quite full. Next up, at the refreshment port, as usual, there are some delicious foods to try here. And this year, they have a new cinnamon sugar beaver tail.
I somehow knew you were going to pick that. Now, I am not a fan of beaver tail.
These are common delicacies in Canada.
Yeah, they're so greasy. I mean, if you've never had a beaver tail, it is our version of a fried dough. So Boston has theirs, and everybody has their fried dough type of dessert. Ours are beaver tails. So, I mean, cinnamon sugar. I mean, how can you go wrong?
I don't know. I think it's a classic American summer food.
It shall be, I'm sure, good. Now, over at Flavors from Fire, I have 2 picks in here, which should not surprise you if you know that I'm a barbecue guy and I love anything that is fire, cooked coals, beef, or any kind of meat over hardwood heat. So, 2 things. The chimichurri marinated skirt steak taco with crushed avocado, grilled corn salsa, pickled red onions, queso fresco, and cilantro lime cream. I don't usually eat a lot of tacos. I don't mind them. I just would prefer other things, but I will try this one. And I even have a dessert here highlighted.
Yes.
Would you try this dessert?
The dessert I will try. The other one I will respectfully have to pass
All right, why don't
on.
you present my top pick for this dessert at Flavors from Fire?
Well, we know you love anything spicy, but this is a spiced chocolate tart with barbecue potato chip crust, salted whiskey caramel, and smoked sea salt.
Come on, barbecue potato chip crust, spicy chocolate. How can you not want to try this?
I'll try it. I'm not a big fan of chocolate. So
I'm not a big fan of chocolate either, but when you put it together that way...
If you made it a vanilla or caramel tart, I would be right there front row.
And what would go better with the chimichurri marinated skirt steak than some pickle fries with...
Literally anything.
...with dill ranch. Also one of my top picks. Close by at the Fry Basket. So if you're checking out the Fry Basket, try the pickle fries with dill ranch. That is definitely one of my top picks for 2023.
Lots of pickle things popular this year, I see.
And of course, we mentioned this in last week's episode. I am intending as a top pick to try the unnecessarily spicy yet extremely tasty Scotch bonnet pepper curry wings with cool cucumber yogurt. Oh, I don't think they said the cool cucumber yogurt before.
No, they gave us a new hint.
Yeah, so the wings are dippable. And this is at the Brewing at the Odyssey, which, as I told you, is that little building not too far from the Mexico Pavilion on your way in, across the little bridge.
Well, at least it's air conditioned.
And they also have a huge number of new drinks there, and I'm still going to try the pickle milkshake. So that is one of my must-try highlights.
Goody. Yes, now at Connections Cafe and Eatery, a returning favorite of mine, this is the Remy Liege waffle, which is a cream cheese Liege waffle with cream cheese icing, graham cracker crumbs, and a Remy chocolate garnish. This is delicious, and even though it is not brand new, I recommend you try it.
Also filling. So a lot of the things you like, I've noticed, tend to be desserty or cheesy. So they're very filling.
Yes.
And you often don't want to share.
Very difficult to eat it all in one day.
You often don't want to share.
That is not what happened.
Well, only because we force it upon you, perhaps.
This is fake news. I was informed I would be sharing, and then we buy the food, and suddenly it's all on me to eat.
Actually, that's
This
right.
is fake news.
We said, yeah, well, I'll eat it. But then, as I said, I was starting to get full, and I had to save room to try some of my favorites. And then we're going, no, we don't want it. And Amelia's going, well, what am I going to do with this gigantic cheese from France?
Yeah. No, it was delicious, but lucky for me, I have a vacation stomach. All right, so next up, this whole thing is new.
Now, I love the name because it's a play on words, if you didn't notice.
Yeah, well, I want to eat all of this, but unfortunately, it's opening later this fall.
We'll see when that is. We're almost in September, late August. This is that swirled showcase. Get it? World showcase. Yes. Swirled showcase. So I'm assuming everything is swirled somehow.
Yes, all of these look delicious.
Holy cow, she's got 4 picks here. Let her rip.
They're all brand new, from the soft serve in a waffle cone, which has vanilla, apple cinnamon, or salted caramel, which all sound delicious. A cream soda float, also with vanilla soft serve. A Mickey-shaped liquid nitro cake. And a Fanta grape float with vanilla soft serve.
Now, you're not going to order all 4 of those.
No.
So if you can only have one, what are you going to pick?
Now, why can I only have one?
I said if.
Let me eat cake. Anyways, I guess my top...
Lady Tremaine would say.
My top pick would probably be either the soft serve, because it has different flavors and I want to try all of them, or the cream soda float with vanilla soft serve.
Interesting, because you don't drink cream soda that often,
And I can't stand Fanta. But I would try it because the grape sounds good.
All right, I'm heading now to the Mexico Pavilion for a newbie. Another taco. So, hey, maybe this will be my taco year. So this is the Taco de Costilla. It is slow braised beef short ribs on a corn tortilla with salsa de chile morita.
Yes, this one I'd also
avocado mousse and spring onions. You will try this?
I will.
Okay.
This sounds good.
All right, because a taco's an easy thing to split. Even if it's 1 or 2, it's easy to sort of cut it in half.
Well, this sounds like a you buy, I try situation.
And I'm not a huge tequila drinker, but they have a couple of cool new beverages. One's a margarita, and they're both margaritas. I wasn't going to go for the Flyaway margarita, which is pineapple ginger juice and chile verde liqueur and tequila and sweet dried chili salt and a bunch of other things. Just sounds pretty good. I'll see. If I don't drink it, I know someone in my family who will. And it's not Amelia. Just to clarify for the record.
Well, I was just going to say, I don't want to point these out because I've got a good 6 years to go, but they do have a bunch of delicious sounding mimosas.
And a lot of these things they will make without the shot of alcohol. So it's always worth asking.
But they do have some good mimosas sprinkled throughout many pavilions, so keep your eyes open for those.
Yeah, just so you know, sometimes especially for the frozen concoctions, they will be pre-mixed often in the machine, but sometimes they're not and they're just adding alcohol on top. So it doesn't hurt to ask.
And also, just a quick shout out to France with their many beignets that are returning favorites, specifically the beignet de trois fromages, which is a classic and I really love it. So give that a try if you're there and you're hungry.
And also, I have a drink to try in the France Pavilion, which is new. They're calling it speaking of frozen concoctions, the Parisian Cosmos Slut. So this is vodka, Grand Marnier, and cranberry juice all frozen up together. So I could see that being nicely refreshing.
Yes.
And then over at the Italy Pavilion, which is a little bit down the ways, closer to America and Germany, there is the Focaccia Ripiena, freshly baked focaccia, beef meatballs, tomato sauce, and burrata cheese. So that is on my must-try list.
Additionally, the Italy Pavilion has blessed us with the lemon ricotta cheesecake.
Here we go with the desserts
I
again.
was just going to say, with vanilla cream and strawberry compote. And next up at the funnel cake stand. Wow, this is glaringly obvious when you list them all in a row. We have the candied bacon funnel cake, which is a funnel cake topped with vanilla ice cream, candied bacon, and maple syrup drizzle, which I would personally love to try.
I have to say, that does sound good. So I might try that. So those are our top picks and returning favorites. Again, I have to say, we're not overly thrilled with the new dishes. We did find a few we like as we just went through, but there have been years where we personally had better things we liked. But still, hey, you can only eat so much there. So
yeah, and you don't have to try something brand new if you have a returning favorite. Hopefully it's still there. They've kept some of their classics.
And one last thing I want to talk about before we get into a little tip for you, having done the Food and Wine many, many times. But if you like cheese, Emil's Fromage Montage is back. And how that works is certain dishes, which we have also noted in our show notes, so take a look at those. You sort of go around, and if you take at least 5 of those dishes and get your little Fromage Montage passport stamped, then you can go and get a free little gift, which is usually another treat. And that is at Shimmering Sips. So you take your passport to the places that say Emil's Fromage Montage, get them stamped, and then Shimmering Sips is located, if you're coming into World Showcase and turning right, it's on the way to Canada near Port of Entry. You'll see it called Shimmering Sips, and that's where you show them your 5 stamps and you get a free prize. Now, some tips for remembering what you want to eat. Don't do what I do. What not to do is what I do. Do this show, write all these things down, talk about what we want to eat, then get there and go, okay, what did I want to eat again? And try to pull up our own show notes on the phone. Yeah. Or, the better way,
do what I do. Plan months in advance, find photos online, and make an itemized list of everything you want to try. I have never missed a thing, although I will say it does get quite filling.
And then the worst thing to do is another member of our party, who shall remain nameless, just wander in there aimlessly and look at every single menu board. And then you sort of have to do a whole round of World Showcase thinking the next one's going to be the one.
Yeah, because the problem is then you get to Mexico, and yes, we start at Canada.
And you've eaten nothing.
Exactly.
And you're cranky and hungry, and the rest of your family might not like that. So...
Well, the problem is when you have an additional thing that you want to try, which is not even involved in a festival and is a massive brioche bun with another scoop of ice cream, it can get quite filling.
You're talking about Artisan de Glace, aren't you?
Yeah, and it was delicious.
We're not doing that this year.
However, it was very filling. But one thing I will say is, if you can have 2 days at EPCOT, I recommend finding what you want, making a list in order of pavilion, and then going one day one way, stopping when you get full, and then going the opposite way the next day, so you get everything
so shockingly,
with a fresh palate.
We have 2 days at EPCOT for this very reason for this festival. So is that what you're purporting we do?
I am purporting.
So we start Canada one way, and then we start Mexico the next day?
Yes, that's
all right.
We'll my
give it
strategy
a whirl.
This year.
We'll let you know how it all pans out. All right, everyone. Hope we made you hungry. Thanks for listening. Remember to mark down your list and then share your favorites with us on social media at 1923 Main Street. Check it out. I'm also on Threads at Mike Beller Braddock. So if you haven't come to Threads yet, come on over. It's kind of sort of fun. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. We will see you again next week, and have a magical day.
Bye-bye.